Hi everybody, welcome to Facebook's. We're doing a thing on Facebook actually. Welcome to SocialFlow's New York headquarters. We are about to start a webinar in just a few minutes. I just want to do a little preview before we do. I'm joined by Frank Spicer, the co-founder of SocialFlow and the Chief Product Officer, and Jim Anderson, the CEO of SocialFlow. And I want to start with Jim really quickly. Jim, just explain why we're doing this webinar, what it's about.
Yeah, Facebook has announced further changes to its algorithms, and media companies and publishers who represent the lion's share of our customers obviously have seen significant impacts on their traffic. So people really want to know what's going to happen to me and what's happening to me. How does that compare to the overall ecosystem? Is it just my traffic, or how is it applying to other companies just like me? And so we're going to talk about that today.
Okay, and Frank, can you give me a quick highlight preview before we go?
Yeah, I mean, we see so much data and we have such an aggregate view of what's going on that we're able to perform some analysis and really understand a few changes that you can make given the recent Facebook alterations that you can, sort of maximize your success. And we even have a few tips for you to get ahead. I think we're going to be able to share some things that should be new to people and they should be able to incorporate in what they're doing and see some better results.
All right, fantastic. Let's head over to the main conference room and let's do this.
I think that initial button took way long.
So one other thing, we're going to talk about monetization at the end. Most of the participants in this webinar type, but I think tying together the editorial with the ad sales is one of the points we're going to want to hit at the end.
Right. We also did a little bit of analysis on staffing and how they optimize the content on the way out. I think that should be pretty interesting for some folks.
Okay, everybody, the webinar is about to begin in just a few seconds. We're just getting everybody seated. Thank you everybody for joining us. We have Facebook Live going right now, and we have a webinar that's beginning, already begun. Right now, just to reintroduce everybody, we have Jim Anderson, the CEO of SocialFlow, and we have Frank Spicer, who's the co-founder and the Chief Product Officer, and we are here to talk about Facebook's new algorithm rules and what you can do and how we can help you navigate those changes. Now, take it away, Jim.
Okay, welcome everybody to our webinar. Glad to have you here. This is Jim Anderson talking, and as Mark said, Frank Spicer will be filling in here on some of the particularly technical items here. So let's talk a little bit about sort of why we're here. I think everybody knows the news, so you don't need me to tell you that Facebook has been making changes to the algorithms. The New York Times broke the story a week and a half ago or so about the latest changes. And I put up these two screens that show Facebook posts, the Building a Better News Feed for You and the News Feed FYI, just as illustrative. If you look at the titles of the people who posted those things, you start to get a sense of the size and scope of the Facebook operation. Facebook's 17 or 18,000 employees now. They've got multiple departments, multiple groups trying to accomplish multiple objectives. So I think one of the things you're seeing here is the inherent tension between what Facebook is trying to do for its users and its news feed and how users consume it, and then for its media partners, for its brands, for its advertisers, et cetera. And so this is just a good example of how decisions they make in one area have an impact in other groups, even if that's not the primary reason they made that decision. So the other thing I'll point out is we actually noticed this, back in June, or we noticed a version of this back in early June, even a little bit before that. That's when we did a Facebook Live event. Many of you may have seen that. Media companies' reach on Facebook. The story was picked up by the Financial Times, among others, and the headline that you may have seen is that media companies' reach on Facebook had dropped by 42% since January. And we covered that in a fair amount of detail. The press picked it up. There was quite a bit of discussion about that. So this is not a new issue to us in terms of the traffic going up and down. And of course, all traffic is volatile. There's a significant amount of content competing for a finite amount of consumer attention. So it's not at all surprising that there are going to be dips and rises in that. So I've advanced the slide here to the reach per post. This is a